Welcome back to Squelch, the video game book club. I'm Dano.
I'm Matt at Arms.
And I'm Storm Rage, and we're here to remind you the Dragon Age Inquisition is a game, and games are supposed to be fun.
This week we are playing the Dragon Age Inquisition The Descent DLC, heading deep into the deep roads, and then deeper into the deep roads, potentially
Past
even
the deep roads.
Beyond the deep roads. What shall we find? Well, you have to wait and find out, actually. That's the whole point, unless you played along, which in case you already know. So, you know.
And then you found it. Yay.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
I also hope you did, for the sake of the universe.
Yes. One of us did not enjoy it.
It's too bad. I can't fix that for you.
I think we need to take that attitude more often in Squelch, because oftentimes when one of us doesn't enjoy a game, we're like, that really sucks. Have you tried these things? We try to figure that out. We try to talk a way through. I think that we do need to go, too bad, so sad, I had a good time, more often.
Do you know what it really is? It's three middle-aged white men who just can't handle someone just not, like, being able, so we have to fix it, right? It's three, like, we have to fix this problem. This is a thing that needs fixing, and I can fix it for you. Let me tell you how to fix it. Instead, the problem, what we should say is, I'm sorry for you. That's too bad.
Yep.
Here was my experience. I try to do that, but then, like, I keep on not. And I'm like, I just need to accept that somebody else either didn't enjoy it the way I did, or found it more difficult, or I need to accept that. For like, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's like, I have the problem. It's like, is there anything I can do to make you help you enjoy this more than you actually did? And it's just, I need to get step away from that.
As if like my fun is invalidated because you didn't have fun, which is not how that works.
But I felt that so hard every time that anybody says anything not like the greatest game of all time to Mass Effect. I go, oh wait, hold up. I can fix this.
Did you try this? Yeah. I mean, to be fair, you did tell me to play Vanguard in 2 and 3, and I enjoyed that tremendously.
And it's great. You get a charge and do really dumb things. You die a lot, but it's great.
Yeah.
I loved playing the sniper in 1, 2, and 3, and 2 and 3 especially. I do think the combat in 3 was perfect. I did enjoy it more than the last one played, Andromeda. But yeah,
but that's not what we're talking about today. We're not talking about Mass Effect anymore.
We never again, potentially, depending on how
we are playing. Aren't we playing 2 next Christmas?
Anyway. There is a chance we might play that Mass Effect ripoff, the Expanse or whatever, right?
Yeah,
that Steven posted. So that game looked pretty crazy. Looked like Mass Effect in an alternate universe. So
here's the thing. How many times have we changed what we were playing for the month of January in December and or January?
Oh, I think that it's a maybe. I'm not saying we are going to play that game. I'm just saying if we wanted to think about it, we could. And I'm still holding out hope and wishing against wish that Mass Effect 4 is going to come out in time for Xmas Effect next year. I mean, there's no reason to believe it won't. And if I say it aloud enough times, I will believe it, as we learned in the pre-dork.
Right?
Next week, we're going to play the Jaws of Hakkon DLC. It's basically a new region in the game. We are going to a new region. It's absolutely gorgeous. Really, really fun region. It's basically like the entire microcosm of the entire game in one region. So it has its own shards, its own shard door, those crazy constellation puzzles, and then a couple different factions and a couple different stories to navigate in a really, really gorgeous, gorgeous zone. Maybe the prettiest zone in the game, to be honest. So the DLC should be easier to play through as well, if that was a problem you had this week. So this DLC sets its level based on whatever you are when you unlock it at the war table. So that it should be a little bit of an easier DLC. The Jaws of Hakkon DLC did come out before the Descent. I just assumed the Descent was easier because I'd had no problems with it earlier. But again, you know what happens when you assume.
Yeah, good for you, Dano.
Yeah.
So happy for you in this time.
Right.
You have a note here, Storm Rage. Is there anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I just want to say, we don't usually talk about politics, and I'm not going to get into details, but I do want to mention life's tough out there, and very glad that you are hanging out and talking about video games, so you're not doom scrolling or spiraling through the many, many bad things that can be viewed or focused on. So I want to talk about a very small bright note in my life, to just like be a little open and honest with folks. This is not related to anything about Squelch. And Dano, if you hate this, you can cut this and I will not feel bad.
I can do that.
I finally have, I went and got an ADHD diagnosis, which I didn't think I'd ever do as an adult. And I am now also on medication for it. And it's insane the amount that I can actually focus on a single task and like finishing through a thought process. Y'all, it's wild. It's wild out there.
Congratulations. Welcome to what normal people think, which I still won't know what that feels like. But welcome to that group, or at least the medicated group. But yeah, you know, I've been on and off ADHD medication for 30 years, and it's like it's night and day whenever I'm not on it.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm on it, it's like, yeah, I can focus, I can live my life. When I'm not, I'm just all over the place. It's the worst. But congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so I just want to say, take care of your mental health, y'all. I know things are bad and things are scary out there, but take care of yourselves, and hopefully I won't be sincere in the rest of this show, and it'll be nothing but goofs, bits, and me talking about how much I hated the combat in this DLC.
The combat was not good. Not good. It was disappointing. It wasn't even not good. It was just, like, I'm talking about ham-fisted is the word that I use. I think it works.
Yeah.
It was just really, it was baby's first difficulty, right? It was like, how do we make this harder? Just give everything more things and or more health. It's like, that's not a good way to do it. Oh, you did it that way? Great, good for you. Oops.
And does more damage indiscriminately.
Yeah, it was a bummer. Let's go thank some patrons. We'll talk about this later.
Yeah, that sounds better. Let's do that.
I am pretty incredible.
Hey,
I
I didn't actually interrupt you. That didn't happen. So whatever you think you heard, you're wrong. Thank you very much to our patrons and Twitch subs. I was so excited to thank you that Daniel interrupted me, because I think you're all so absolutely amazing and awesome. So I just appreciate your support so very much, to be honest. If you want to support us, you can. Twitch.tv/DanoPlay. We stream probably 3 times a month. Or patreon.com/Squelch. If you do that, $5 a month or above, you get the podcast the night it is recorded, as well as like the whatever we talk about before the show. And then our Before Dork role-playing sessions when we get to them, when things aren't
on fire.
Fire.
Or at least less on fire. I don't know if we're going to get to a point where the world isn't on fire anytime soon, but less on fire would be nice.
Yes.
Yeah. For those who don't know, I live in Minneapolis, if you don't know that. All right. Let's get to the lore.
Yep.
This one's a real page-turner.
All right, let's talk about our advisors and our friends from Dragon Age. It's been a little while because we had to go into the far, far future to, save some worlds. which I think we did a good job of. But now we're back into Thetis. So let's go ahead and do this. We have our advisors. First up is Colin. Colin is the commander of our military forces. He is a former Templar who served at the gallows and Kinloch Hold. So basically, he has the absolute worst luck and is always in the worst place imaginable.
Mm-hmm. Got Josephine. She's our ambassador and chief diplomat. She has a clipboard with a candle on it. It's kind of cool. She's an Antivan noble, and her family wants to get super rich, and we can help. And we did that, I think.
Okay. Real talk. Can we talk about the clipboard with the candle? Because
yeah.
I think about that. I've played this game for over 1,000 hours, and that clipboard with the candle on it like lives rent free in my head. Like, do you suppose that actually works? Like,
I imagine that's an actual thing that existed, probably.
Yeah, it feels right.
But she like walks around and that flame does not go out. I feel like that flame would, I feel like you'd have to like have like a thing that would block when you walk forward. You know, I feel.
Yeah, like a wind guard on the front of it, but didn't block the light from being on the pages.
And also, like, when you talk, air comes out of your mouth. And so you would also have to, like, be careful of, like, not talking at the flame.
Yeah.
Feel like it's one of those...
Or being absent-mindedly accidentally setting things on fire because you have, like, your clipboard off to the side. Yeah.
Or, you know, if a wind blows, like, the paper into the fire and then all of your notes are gone.
I hate the AI overview for Google, but every now and then it's very funny to me. I typed in candle on a clipboard because I was curious if there was like any baseline for this anywhere. Here is the AI overview for this. A candle on a clipboard refers to decorative, themed clipboards, often acrylic, featuring designs like burning candles, popular for stylish organization, especially for nurses or bloggers, and sometimes used in video games, like Dragon Age, for character flair.
I've noticed from my tracking of everything that you ever have Googled or searched for that you actually are aware of Dragon Age, so I will bring that up in the search.
If I put Dragon Age in this search, will you be happier?
She also has very poofy sleeves. She's like the poofiest sleeves.
She wears a pirate shirt. Yeah.
I feel like they did a great job with like the costuming of all of the characters in this game. I feel like the armors and stuff for the most part are really cool looking. Josephine though looks like a clown.
Yeah, she is dangerously close to a court jester.
I mean, we need one, right?
I have one.
That's right, you do.
I do have a court jester. There was a.
I also do, for the record.
Did you get the one, the sit in judgment one, where you made her a court jester?
Yeah,
that's the best part of the game. All right, let's talk about Liliana.
Liliana's our spy master and former companion of the hero of Ferelden, and she might have at the end of the game become divine, and maybe not. And maybe if not, maybe you went through and downloaded several different mods because this is not the first time that you've had to change Liliana's reaction to something. And maybe you eventually spent 15 to 30 minutes figuring out how to install and use this mod so she is now officially the divine and Cassandra can play in the Descent.
Did you actually figure, is Liliana your divine now?
I don't know why. Well, if you're asking me, I don't know why you'd ask me of all people, Dano, but I will admit, yes, she is my divine. Thank you so much for asking.
Just so you know, in the Trespasser DLC, if Cassandra or Vivian are your divine, they get a super cool armor.
Good for them.
So I'm super excited about Cassandra and her armor. I'm really happy with Cassandra becoming my divine, by the way, even though I thought I wanted Liliana. But I'm glad for you that Liliana has always been your divine and Cassandra has never been your divine. Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yep. Speaking of our companions, Matt, tell us about Blackwall.
Yeah, we got Blackwall. He's not really Blackwall. He's some other guy, and he calls himself Blackwall. He's supposedly a Grey Warden, but not really. He was lying. He's just basically an Orlesian commander. He just sits in the stable for me. That's all he does.
Yeah, he's like what if Santa was an assassin?
Yeah.
He's always building toys and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I got it. It was pretty good, Dano.
Yeah, that's good.
Thanks. I'm pretty proud of it. He's got a beard.
No, but do keep listing off all the similarities in case someone didn't get it at this point in time. So that way we
doesn't
can
wear red.
really enjoy the joke.
Well,
Doesn't wear
sometimes
red,
he's around elves sometimes.
right?
Oh, sure. He
Yeah.
goes by one name, but he actually has a different name.
Yeah. See, Blackwall Santa got it. That's where we got.
Yeah.
That's where we got out of that.
Yeah.
I let Blackwall rot in a cell. He's not an option for me
You
anymore.
killed Santa, Dano? I can't believe you do that. Dano's declared a war on Christmas, everybody.
Oh no! Don't tell Fox News. Oh, Cassandra.
Yeah, Cassandra is a seeker. She is also on like your initial party. She helps start the Inquisition, and she never once has ever been the divine in my playthrough.
Interesting.
She
What about
is.
Cole?
If you don't go and talk to her, she will not be playable until you go talk to her. So I did not think I had a tank for about 5 minutes. So I actually went down into the deep roads. It was just Iron Bull, who's not a tank. And
Nope.
I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? I'm like, wait a minute. I bet you if I go talk to her, they will give some like crazy reason why she can like actually come along with
Yep.
me. And they did. And I was like, oh, thank you, writers, because I kind of let the other one go. All right. Cole, he is a spirit who created his own human body to inhabit. We can help him remain free as a free spirit, or he can become a real boy.
He's a real boy. I got Dorian. Dorian's a Tevinter mage. He's a necromancer, and I finally found a build that makes him not suck. So
He's really good when you get a good build on him, actually.
yeah,
Iron Bull was a member of the Ben Hasrath. He is a Qunari, following the Qun, depending on your decisions throughout the game. Maybe not anymore. And he is awesome and a delight and the ultimate bro.
Sarah is an elven rogue. She likes to say that she's the wrong kind of elf, and that definitely kind of like hits her the wrong way. She's like, you can't be the wrong kind of elf. It's actually a really interesting character, the way that she kind of like develops in this game. And then even in like the Jaws of Hakkon DLC, if you play with her there is a storyline with her. And like not necessarily about her, but that if she's involved in, she has some strong feelings about. So she is also one of 3 current red Jennies operating in Thetis. Basically, she just like causes shenanigans and sometimes thieving and assassinating, depending on her mood. After going on a pranking spree with the Inquisitor, they become good friends who like to hang out on the roof of the tavern, just chatting about life.
all right. I got Solus. Solus is apparently some sort of ancient elven god called the Dreadwolf. It seems very like Russell T Davies, honestly. Just have it written on the wall somewhere. As he bumped, and he also killed Flemeth, apparently. And she was also some sort of elven god, and he's now missing and was my main DPS mage, and I had to figure it out for the DLC, which kind of
You said that, and my brain forgot that we'd completed the game for a brief moment, and I was like, whoa, Matt, that's a crazy spoiler.
It is a
Next up-
bananas end to the game, though. Like,
Yeah.
it is true. You're like, wait a minute, what is happening?
Like, Flemeth's been in every single game some sort of like savior to a degree in each of the games, and then she's just gone. She's just stabbed and gone off screen from our main character.
To be fair, they probably couldn't afford Kate Mulgrew anymore.
That's possible.
It's like, oh, here we go. Quick, other voice actor we can't afford. Take care of this.
Next up is Varric. Varric is one of the main characters in Dragon Age 2, former companion of Hawk. He's a writer. He's the best. He's the bestest of best.
He's really, really great. Last but not least is Vivian. She's a human mage. She remains loyal to the Circle and is the official enchanter to the Imperial Court of Orlais. She is the last of the 3 candidates to be divine and is the most conservative of the 3. She thinks things should change, but a long time from now, at some point after everything has calmed down and gone back to normal, at that point we can start to kind of think about how we can change things for the mages, maybe after we have, made sure the status quo has been maintained. So that's Vivian for you.
Yeah.
She's kind of a fun character, actually. So
As of this moment, I declare the Inquisition reborn.
You're not Alec Ryder.
It's so good. You're not Alec Ryder. It's just
maybe we just
good.
keep that soundbite for something somewhere in Squelch because it's such a good soundbite.
I'm gonna have to put that back onto my board, just like a point of confusion. Just be like, "You're not Alec Ryder."
You're not Alec Ryder.
We have been looking for a new lore drop.
Yeah, maybe it's that.
You're not Alec Ryder. Actually gonna work.
I'm in charge of the main recap for this story, but before I get to the story of this mission, I do want to go backwards just a smidge. So I, for no particular reason, had to go back to an old save before I defeated Corypheus to make sure that I was correct and that Liliana was always my divine, because maybe I didn't have a save at the proper time for a certain add-on to trigger, which definitely didn't happen, but if it did, that's what happened. And so I had to go back through to the last fight with Corypheus, and I was like, oh yeah, this game's got some pretty fun combat. I'm feeling pretty good. I beat Corypheus a lot faster the second time around, and I was like, oh yeah, this fight's like 5 minutes, but it's interesting. I'm moving back and forth. It's great. So keep that in mind. I had just finished beating the final boss of the game with relative ease. Admittedly, I'm on casual difficulty, so I think it should be with relative ease. I'm not trying to say that I am good at this game. But that's the mindset that I came into this expansion with. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the DLC itself. We unlock this quest through the war table and can start the quest. You can either build an elevator or do 2 other things. I don't remember what the other options are. Did either of you guys choose not the elevator?
I think the elevator is the only option.
To go down initially?
Yeah.
I chose the elevator. I know at other points in the game you can just kind of hop down rocks and stuff, and I did that for funsies, actually. So you don't have to use all the other elevators, but I think for the initial one, I don't know. I probably have a save. I'm going to go try a different save now because I don't know.
I just remember that there are 3 different choices for how you engage with that DLC at first, and I didn't know, because there's one that's like, contract with the dwarves to help build an elevator down, and then there were 2 others that I didn't read at all.
Oh, I'll have to go back and check. I just wrote the elevator.
The forces, the connections, and the
yes.
Oh,
and
I think they all just build the initial elevator, I think.
All right, then never mind. They all just build an elevator one way or another. And when we get there, we meet our good old friend Scout Harding, who's always one step ahead of us, who explains that there have been some very strange earthquakes lately in the region. We then meet a dwarf, Shaper Volta. She seems super cool. She says the Darkspawn have gone crazy and they need the Inquisition's help. Why the Inquisitions? We're the only ones who responded, that's why. Shouldn't Ozramar help out? Stop asking questions. Let's continue on with the DLC. We wrap around a corner and bam, we find an Ogre Alpha who is, without a doubt, more powerful than the final boss of the game. Corypheus who? Alpha Ogre Supreme. I fought this fight in the most boring fashion possible, which is I had enough armor that he couldn't kill me, so I just sat there spamming every single magical attack I could, and I timed it because after a while I was like, how is this still going on? 6 minutes.
Yep.
6 whole minutes
Yep.
of just sitting there.
And he hits pretty hard, which is even worse, especially since I'm up in his face, and I still am not doing that much damage.
To be fair, we didn't have a McMuffin implanted into our hand to weaken the Ogre Alpha. So honestly, it's just poor planning on our part.
Yeah, we'll get another McMuffin next time, and then that'll help everything. We head further in, and we meet the Legion of the Dead, which is the regiment of dwarves who have their funeral before they head into the Deep Roads forever. So they are dead when they head into the Deep Roads, but they usually do so for sake of family honor, to get rid of a fault or something along those lines. Matt, then Dano, both of you have other things?
No, go keep going until we get to the fight.
Okay. We also
I wanted
meet...
actually something. I want something about the Legion of the Dead real quick. Can I do that?
Yeah.
So this is a super cool.
Wait.
Yes.
Yes, all out. I had to think about it more.
Thanks.
I just want to make sure.
Great. Okay,
Yeah.
good. I love this DLC because of like how like cool the Legion of the Dead are in this one. So you really get to kind of know them, like just through like when this game does like the storytelling around the main character, it does it really, really, really well. And like the Legion of the Dead, like you get to know them in a really, really fun way, like just through interacting with the game. Like at one point, there are two members of the Legion of the Dead around a fire, and like one is saying to the other about how they had drank some darkspawn blood by accident in the last fight and how it burns, and the other one's like, just hold on, you still have time, you're not dead yet, and basically like they both knew that this person was dead in a few days, but there was still fighting to fight, and so just to get through it, I thought it was really cool. This like 7/10 of this DLC was so good.
Yes.
The 3/10 that didn't work were just the worst.
And then there's combat. Matt.
By the way, Ren is also voiced by a very, very famous voice actor by the name of David Hayter. You might know him better as Solid Snake.
Oh, very good.
So that's the other dwarf. So there's two main character dwarves in this one. There's Lieutenant Ren, the member of the Legion of the Dead, and then I already forgot her name. Shaper Volta, who is a member of the Orzammar Shaperate, but got in a little bit of trouble because she wouldn't erase some stuff that they wanted her to erase. And so they're like, you should go to the Deep Roads, the Legion of the Dead, and find stuff there.
Shaper Volta, voiced by Ali Hillis, also known as Liara Tassani.
Oh.
Wow.
I did not recognize her voice. That's very impressive work.
Yeah. So, anyway, moving on.
Of course she's searching for various things in deep, dark caverns.
So, we go to combat, right?
Then we go to combat. We fight so many Darkspawn. So many Darkspawn. And this is where, Matt, you wanted me to stop the first time.
The decision not to have a cache of like potion cache between these two fights nearly ended the game for me right here.
Didn't you have a cache when you created the camp?
It's before the camp.
You have to fight the Darkspawn, then the camp gets made.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so they have to blow up. Yeah, so they do the fight, but there's no cache. I was down to 2 potions going into that fight, and it took me forever to get through that fight. Anyway.
So after the fight, we set up our first camp, and there's a war table here. That seems super fun. Maybe if you engage with it, there'll be other cool things. I wouldn't know. There's discussion about what could be causing these earthquakes. Shaper Volta thinks there might be a Titan that is waking up down below. Lieutenant Ren thinks that the idea of Titans is crazy crackpot conspiracy theories. What do we know about Titans? Literally nothing other than the name and that they are old, powerful creatures in some way, shape, or form, but nothing's ever been confirmed, and we've never interacted with any before. So our plan? Go deeper into the Deep Roads and see what's causing all the earthquakes. Great, we do so. We kill so much Darkspawn. I think there's only like a paragraph here, but there's like 5 floors of killing Darkspawn. There's so many killing Darkspawn. And after we kill all the Darkspawn, we delve even deeper past the deepest of Deep Roads. Eventually we come across some creatures that we haven't seen before. They look and are shaped like dwarves, but aren't. They're the Shal Bratal, and they kill our friend Ren. No!
Snake.
Snake. Alas.
Yeah.
These Shalbertals seem to be infused with lyrium, which, if it's been a while since you remember us talking about Dragon Age, is the magical substance that allows the casting of spells to be possible by and large. And so it's not only like embedded on their skin, but it's embedded in their armor. It like connects their skin to their armor. They are connected with lyrium in a way that we've never seen before. And what's even weirder is dwarves can't use magic. So the idea of them being infused with lyrium would make the least amount of sense for any of the races based on what we know about dwarves and their usage of lyrium up until this point. We read a rune that tells us the guardians shall prevent the impure, or something along those lines. I can't remember the specifics of it, but basically like, if you delve into it, guardians will prevent you from doing so. And we don't care about that. We're on a quest. So we kill a bunch of Shalbertal and find out that they are seemingly dwarves. And again, that I've talked about this, so it's not just that they look like dwarves, but they were at one point dwarves. Eventually, we get to a section that opens up dramatically. And it looks like a beautiful forest. The first thing that came to my mind is that it looks like Atlantis from the 2001 animated movie Atlantis. Dano.
This was such a cool part of the DLC because we went from like the dark, like dank, fiery, deep roads, caves and whatnot. And then we went further down beyond the deep roads to like the dark, like there was no light. And then we get past that. And then we get into this just like gorgeous, almost like a cloudscape. It was so cool. It was so dramatic and so pretty. Like this entire DLC is gorgeous. Like the things that they do, even within the deep roads and like the statues and the places you can discover, is absolutely cool, absolutely gorgeous. And it's not at all samey, which is something that like Andromeda struggled with. Like it was very, very samey. Like they managed to make the 3 different zones look very distinct. And even like those zones, like different parts of, but the 2 main parts, I would say like the regular deep roads and then like the Atlantis part, they also had very like parts that very much dramatically looked different and had like interesting things to look at. It was like tip off to the art department on this one because they killed it.
Beautiful. Yeah. Shaper Volta tells us this seems to be the heart of the Titan. We're not entirely sure what that means, but we fight through a lot more Shalbertal who are determined to kill us. We kill them better. Or it takes a really, really long time and a lot of saves and a lot of frustration to eventually kill all the Shalbertal. We make our way to the center where there is this massive blue gemstone shape that is the size of like a 3-story building. It is huge. And when we get close, it awakens this massive creature, this guardian. And it blasts Shaper Volta with magic and a fight begins. It is real hard to kill. Matt, would you like to talk about how much fun you had in this fight?
Oh, it was a blast. Hated it so much.
Thank you very much for that report, Matt.
Can we talk about our different experiences to this fight? Because Matt struggled. Like Matt could not do any damage in this fight. Kept on wiping. His entire party kept on wiping, and and disliked this fight because of how impossible it was. And me,
no, it was possible. It was very possible. Here's how I did it. I had Vivian as my mage, because she's my backup mage, because my main mage is off killing
Captain Janeway.
Janeway. So I had to select. It took me like 5 tries to figure this out. All my characters are melee. All my main damage is melee. Unfortunately, the area you have to hit, there's these little tentacles that do 1 billion damage whenever they touch you. So all my melee characters would die. I just had Vivian shooting basic attacks, an occasional spell toward the blue thing, basically doing the cha-cha slide to the left, slide to the right, one hop this time. Crisscross. Cha-cha real nice, and then as you cha-cha with the parts with the blue things popping up, right? Mm-hmm. Just to avoid that, and then getting in damage when I can. It took me 20 minutes to defeat this boss.
Yeah.
Because
it's a long fight.
I soloed it with Vivian.
So it took me
Eventually.
like 30 seconds. And I was
Nice.
like super disappointed at how easy it was. And I was waiting for the next phase of the fight. I couldn't figure out why it was so, why I did something wrong. I was like, wait, is it over? I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't even realize there were phases to the fight until I talked to you
Oh my
after you
God.
did it. I just thought,
Yeah.
I just
No,
killed the
I-
two
I-
tentacles, like each of them in like 7-8 seconds, and then found like the little nub, and then also just smoked that thing down. The problem with melee DPS in this game is that the AI is really bad with melee DPS. So like as like a player control character, you can do really, really good damage with melee DPS. But as far as like melee DPS for AI control characters, they tend to get themselves just killed super quick, except for the tanks. The tanks do just fine. They do a good job. But like if you want like a dagger wielder, or like if you're using Iron Bull, like Iron Bull loves to get himself dead. Like he's a great character, but like be prepared for him to die. So that's brutal.
So after the fight, Shaper Volta seemingly does a bit of magic, but dwarves can't do magic. Not a single dwarf has ever been able to do magic, except for Brockgar the Wizard, of course. And
Of
if
course.
you don't get that reference, subscribe to Squelch After Dork, friends. Volta tells us that she is
Just a Pokemon.
connected with the Titan in some way, shape, or form, and that the Titan's blood is lyrium. And it's living, and this massive area that we found is covered in lyrium, aka covered in its lifeblood in one way or another. This also connects to a previous quest that we did during the regular campaign, where we found out that lyrium is a living substance. It's the Titan's blood, which I think pretty cool. Pretty cool to finally tie that knot. Really fun story beat. Liked it a lot. Shaper Volta tells us that she's staying. She sounds weird, but it seems fine. The last time we had a fight with a big bad that blasted somebody with something and then we let him go, that ended up great. So maybe this time it'll also end up great. The Titan has calmed down, and the questions of ethics of using lyrium are shoved deep, deep, deep down to be forgotten forever.
Did you do the war table quest after the DLC is done?
Dano, I will direct you to my tea with Finley.
I see that. I realized that was very much more of a hype, but not a hypothetical. One of those things we don't expect a response to the question.
A rhetorical question?
Rhetorical question. So I did do the war table thing. So there was a war table quest for you to finish that they heard like wailing of like from behind the stone of where she sealed herself in, and you can go down and see what's going on. And you go down and you discover that Ren's body has been taken, and you can kind of infer that it was Shaper Volta going and mourning Ren and then leaving forever. Their storyline was really cool. Again, that was a really fun, like we're friends because we can't be more, but really we want to be more, but we can't. It was really good. It was really good. Yeah. Find the button.
Hello, old friend. Let's meet for tea after the match, shall we?
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
Matt, what'd you do this week?
Yeah. I actually spent all my power at the war table in the deep roads because I thought that was a different power. It wasn't.
No! Oh no!
But good news is I had plenty. Yeah. So good news is I figured out I have plenty of things to do, so I can get all the power for the next 2 DLCs, which is great, and it's good. Also, after this DLC and how frustrated I was, I finally looked up some guides and build guides for my party. I'm running Cassandra as my tank now. Dorian is now not useless anymore and just blows himself up as much as possible for a ton of damage. Sarah's my range DPS. I had Varric. That was a bad choice. Now I'm just going around hitting. Now I'm just like I have the equal ground challenge on at the moment, and I'm like killing dragons just to try out the build, and I'm hitting things for like $4,000 on the regular. It's pretty nice. So Dan watched me kill that one dragon on the Storm Coast. It was a lot of fun. So, yeah. Storm Rage, what'd you do?
Not a thing. I hated the combat in this section so much that I was like, I'm gonna play the main quest. I'm gonna enjoy the main quest. But if there is any way for me to avoid any aspect of fighting here or doing anything to engage with the game mechanics, I will avoid doing exactly that. So I didn't do any side quests for the first time in a while. I didn't touch a single side quest or a single war table operation.
I did notice you got through this super quick. So I was playing through and just like doing my normal way of like, making sure I find and do everything. And you're like, okay, I'm starting. And then, I'm still going, I'm still, I think, at the very top looking for stuff. And you're like, oh, I'm done. And I was like, holy buckets. You must have speedrun that DLC.
So the expected time to complete it is about 4 hours. I did it in 3.
So I did all the side quests. I really like this DLC a lot, though the combat is, we'll talk about that a little bit again later. But so I did all the side quests. So there are some cups to be picked up. You find them along the way. I found all of them. They are displayed on like a cool table at base camp, and they look great. I also opened all the secret doors and found all of these gears that you need to find to open the secret doors. And inside there were scary, powerful darkspawn, and also some very, very sweet loot. So I found all the sweet loot. Most of the sweet loot in this game, there is some like pre-built armor, but there's a lot of really, really good like tier 4 schematics in this area as well. So I found all of those. And maybe my favorite quest in the game, and it is a hidden quest. There is a secret passage very similar to that in Indiana Jones, where you have to like leap off a cliff and expect the pathway to show up, and so you jump off a cliff and there the pathway shows up. It's super cool. And you walk across and there's like all of these nugs. So nugs are like, what if rabbits didn't have any hair and lived in the dark? That's what nugs are. So there are all these nugs and they kind of run off into this like end. Earlier, I found this thing of cheese and was like, okay, I picked it up and then kind of forgot about it. And then there was this big throne. So I clicked on the throne and the cheese showed up there. And then there is this like big swell of music, and like you go to the Inquisitor and like the Inquisitor looks odd, and then the music builds and builds, and then you hear this like squeak, and then a nug jumps out with a crown on its head and it judges the Inquisitor. It is just so much
That's
fun.
fantastic.
And then it leaves, and you get a whole bunch of like Inquisition points. That's all it is. It's just so much fun. So I did that one. I found the complete story of a secret war between some old-timey dwarves and the Shai Brattal. Spoiler alert, the Shai Brattal won. I found all the journal pages of a dwarf who was experimenting with drinking raw lyrium. He went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, so don't do that. I also solved a doctor's office puzzle and found even more sweet loot. This was a legitimately good puzzle, though. I did like it because it was one of those puzzles it was just difficult to make you think.
Was this the Hanoi Tower one?
Yeah.
Where you had to move the thing over 3 spaces? Yeah.
It was
that was easy.
It was like, not complicated. It was obvious what you needed to do. There were instructions. I like that kind of puzzle. Don't make the puzzle so complicated that I have to look it up or, So yeah. So I like the puzzle. I liked it a lot. And then I built. Yes, go ahead.
I want to give a shout out to very simple puzzles. I love simple puzzles. This is going to feel like it is counter to me saying that I am now medicated for ADHD. I was playing D&D on Saturday, and our DM was like, here's 4 puzzles. They're basic, easy puzzles. And they were, and it was awesome. Yep. I felt so smart understanding these very basic puzzles. It was such a good win. Love easy puzzles.
Yeah. Unless it's like specifically a puzzle game. If it's specifically a puzzle game, sure, that's great. You signed up for that. You're looking for it. It's the plan. In like an RPG like this, a simple puzzle is perfect. Give me something where it's clear what needs to get done. I can get it done in a couple of minutes with a little bit of trial and error or thinking, and it's very clear what needs to be done. Love an easy puzzle. Thank you very much.
The worst part about this puzzle was the interfacing with the puzzle itself. Honestly.
Yeah, because you had to like click the thing and then click out and then click. So, but once you got the feel of it, it went pretty simple, I thought. But yeah. And then I built some very rickety bridges to get to some very cool places that had the absolute sweetest loot. Building the rickety bridges, so that was what you did with the war table a lot of times.
Yep.
You could get to some secret passages. You could get to some areas you couldn't reach. And the place you got to looked so cool. And
like that dwarf in the middle of the chasm.
Yeah. And then like the bridges that they built or like the platforms were just like, what if a toddler was using Lincoln Logs? It was so good. So I did all the stuff in this one. I love this DLC. It's a ton of fun. But yeah. Buttons.
Taste my grilled cheese.
Much.
So I really liked the will they, won't they between Shaper Volta and Lieutenant Ren. They didn't because Ren died. But I love how it wrapped up with Volta being so distraught that they could hear her grief through the walls of the stone. Really, the Shaper Volta in general was a super cool character. Lieutenant Ren was a super cool character. Really well written, really well voice acted, obviously, because we know who they are. Like, honestly, just a really, really like tight story. Just like a really concise, tight story told really, really well.
Yep.
What's our not so good, Matt?
The first two encounters, like they literally could turn you off the entire DLC, which is unfortunate because like you are like if you just go in, you're not ready. You're not ready. Like it's literally like, too bad. You just like you can't do this yet. Good luck. You're just like and then also the boss. The boss was not great either, but I did not enjoy that at all. What's the best good?
Closing the loop on lore in the world. They've done this a lot in Dragon Age Inquisition, where they're like, hey, remember that thing that we talked about in Dragon Age Origins or in Dragon Age 2? Here, we're finally closing the loop on where that knowledge comes from. We're finally revealing this, and I thought this was done in a really elegant way. I thought that it didn't feel forced, and it felt like really, really wonderful world building that adds also both answers and many more questions.
He asks each traveler 3 questions. 3 questions.
3, that's a magic number. I will ask myself 3 questions.
Hey, Matt, what did you like?
I liked the story. The story was really good. It's very well told and like exploring the deeper roads. I guess what they're like the deepest roads was pretty sweet. Stormrage, how about you?
I really like when Dragon Age hits on aspects of the world that we don't hit on as much. Like, we've talked about the Darkspawn a lot, and we went to the deep roads in the other games, but not very far. Like, it was kind of pretty samey in a lot of the other instances where we hit the deep roads of go deep, get thing, come back from thing. And this was an entirely new area, a new way to engage with the deep roads. It also talked more about the dwarves. I feel like since Dragon Age Origins, we really haven't talked much about the dwarves in general, and talking about the mythology or the past titans, all of which really, really cool, all of which we also haven't talked on in a while. So really, I thought it was just really, really fun. Dana, what about you?
I loved the story. I thought the story was great. I thought both the interpersonal story between our two guest stars was really interesting and fun. And then also just like the story of what was going on in the deepest deep roads, right? You know, we first have to fight through, we fight through a ton of Darkspawn, find a hidden Tig that we thought was lost to the world, discover some cool things in the Tig, then get even deeper, find this, race of dwarfs that aren't even really dwarves anymore. And then we literally fight in the body of a Titan and discover the heart of a Titan. And it was super cool. It was, I think when Inquisition really shines, it kind of tells these two, like it'll tell like kind of two stories at once. And it kind of goes big and goes small in a really good way, an A and a B storyline. And in this one, the story was top notch, really, really well written. And I really enjoyed it quite a bit. What did you struggle with, Matt?
The final boss. I nearly gave up. Like, it was just, I figured out a way to solo Vivian. It took forever, but I got it. And I hated it so much. Storm Rage, what did you struggling with?
Yeah, it's so hard. And I understand difficulty in games being fun for people, and that's why I think difficulty scales are really, really important. But it feels like this DLC was made for people who wanted more content after they 100%ed the game. This is for people that love to craft, that love to collect, that love all the things that, truth be told, Dano loves about this game. So this is a DLC that feels like it was made for Dano. But that's not me. And I intentionally lowered the difficulty because I wasn't enjoying a lot of the combat at like later on in the game. And for a casual person, on casual difficulty specifically, to have as much trouble as I did after beating the final boss with relative ease was really frustrating. And I wish they had scaled the difficulty different, because I would not have beaten it if I didn't craft something. And I really dislike that I had to craft in order to get far enough in this section to beat it. Because I'd gone the entire game without having to worry about it, and now all of a sudden I have to engage with a mechanic that I don't generally like in most games. Dano, what are you struggling with?
So the combat was really weak in this DLC. I think the combat is a strength of Dragon Age Inquisition in general. I really like the combat a lot in this game. But I thought in this DLC specifically, the way it was done wasn't great. So they obviously wanted to bump the difficulty up, like Storm Rage said. But the way they did it was really ham-fisted, and it was just like making numbers bigger. So if it was a boss or a large solo enemy, they just made the health pool larger and made it hit you harder. If it was
immune or resistant to more damages.
Yeah. If they wanted to have, it be more numbers, they just threw uncountable numbers at you. It really wasn't any more interesting necessarily.
Oh, God.
It was just large numbers. And there was one fight specifically, and I talked about this with Matt. So it was before you got into the deepest of deep roads, before you got into the Titans. You're in the deep roads. You weren't in the Titan yet. And you had to collect these McMuffins to blow up walls. And so you had to collect 5 McMuffins to blow up a wall. And before you could blow up the wall, and I wasn't sure until I talked to Matt if I did this wrong or right. So there was a large scripted combat scene where all of the Cybertol kept on coming in waves. And they just didn't end. And apparently I was doing a good job with killing because I had killed off all of the little ones. And so I just, for 5-10 minutes maybe, just had to wait for the next commander to come, DPS that commander down, wait for that to go, and then I'd look on the mini-map, look for the next single red thing running towards me, go and kill that, wait, go look for the single red, and that kept happening over and over. I was like, is the game bugged? Am I doing this wrong? Do I need to go below the wall? So eventually I just left my characters to go and fight them, the elite, and I went to blow up the wall, and then when I blew up the wall, that ended it. And I was like, oh, I guess you were supposed to blow up the wall. So, and then I talked to Matt, and Matt was like, no, I blew up the wall first. And they still kept on coming. And I was like, oh, so it was just dumb luck.
Yeah.
Like so poorly, poorly planned. And those were the most uninteresting. What's that?
Mine also ended when I blew up the wall.
No,
I had 3 torches when I went. I planted them all. I got 2 more things from the commanders, planted them both. Then they stopped coming.
No, I blew up the wall. Like, I had enough. I blew up the wall, and I still had about 5 or 6 more waves of those guys come after I blew up the wall. And I'm like, So I just have,
Interesting.
I still have
wonder-
to kill all these guys.
I wonder if the waves always happen, but you don't get the single elites that come if you blow up the wall. I wonder if those single elites keep coming. Did you have the single elites, Matt, that kept on coming over and over again?
I couldn't tell the difference. I was too busy spamming my attacks.
I bet you
trying
those
to kill
single
them.
elites keep coming until you blow up the wall. But again, you had no reason to believe that's what you needed to do because in the rest of this DLC, it was giant waves. You had giant waves of darkspawn that would come. And I thought with the darkspawn, that was actually kind of fun. I enjoyed that big fiery entrance to the Tig where you had that giant darkspawn fight. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that was great.
most
Except
of
for
the
the
time it
fact
was
that
really
beforehand.
ham-fisted is the way. It was just unelegantly done.
Yeah.
It could have been done better. It was disappointing. What surprised you, Matt?
The fact I didn't give up on the final boss. Like,
Hey.
literally, like, I just plowed through it. And, like, I was like, all right, fine. I'll just kill it with Vivian. And I got really good at dodging, like, seeing the tells and dodging the attacks. It was like, you know, baby's first Souls-like, but it worked. You know, it's just like, you know, it's like eventually I got good enough that, like, you know, I could just wander, do what I need to do, stay away from everything that was causing damage, and eventually killed it. It took me like 20 minutes, but I did it. Stormray, what surprised you?
How slow combat felt after playing Mass Effect Andromeda, and I know that I had more abilities that I could use in Dragon Age Inquisition, right? Like I had like 6-7 abilities that I can use, and then a lot of passive abilities and things. Stop it, both of you. We're in our 30s and 40s. We can't do that.
No,
Yeah,
that's when we have to do it because that then kills it for the youngins.
Exactly.
Well, it's killed it for me. But it felt like I was just cycling between 3 different abilities, and so much of this DLC was just me sitting there, casting spell, waiting for mana, casting spell, waiting for mana, and I think I missed the like action intensity and the speed of Andromeda or even Dragon Age 2 combat. Then like it just felt slow, which admittedly made it feel more calculated. But I didn't want to calculate. I just wanted to smash things. Dana, how about yourself?
I thought the McMuffin searches in this DLC were really fun and really well done. There were Easter eggs that were a ton of fun to find. None of them were impossible to find. They were much better done than they were in the main game where like you would find things and then like some of them would be displayed and some of them weren't. I thought that the way that they were displayed at the base camp was really fun and really interesting. And there were stories between each of the mugs I really enjoyed. I also like that they didn't force you down one path. If you wanted to jump from ledge to ledge instead of taking the elevator, there was a path to do it and even supplies along the way to refill your health. So I thought the way that you could engage with like the pathfinding down the DLC were really good. I enjoyed everything about this game except this DLC, except for the combat. And yeah, I really enjoyed the McMuffin searches on top of all that.
You want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
Storm Rage, sell the game to a friend.
You're gonna die a lot. So maybe don't play this DLC unless you've beaten and done everything else in this game.
Matt, sell the game.
Fancy dwarves with guns. That's not fair. They're playing Mass Effect.
And I will sell the game by saying I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I can, Dean, after I'm done here. Dean asked me to play that song after we're done. Next week, we are heading back into the Brazilian forest. That's it. It's not the Brazilian forest, though. It's sad. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks to our page for patronizing us. You can find links to our Discord and contact information in the link tree in the description of this episode.
Dragon Age Inquisition DLCs are games. Sure. And games are supposed to be fun.
Yeah! Let's start an Inquisition, Pathfinder.
This is the end of the show. Everybody bye!
singing this song right now.
To be fair, we did find a way down into the deeper road.
We sure did.
Yeah.
So, we have that on Alec Rider.
We did Pathfind. So a certain director will be happy with us. Director Addison.
I know we have 2 weeks left of Dragon Age Inquisition. We've already ranked Dragon Age Inquisition and talked about it.
We have,
we?
yeah. We're done ranking.
Yeah,
it,
I thought so because I remember. God, the first DLC, very interesting. It feels to me like an inverse of the Citadel DLC that they did for Mass Effect 3, where
this is the second DLC.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I thought we should play this one first because this is the one that I played, and I was able to play through this one like mid-game last time. So I actually so this might be my fault actually. I chose to play them.
I would
out
like
of
to blame you
order.
instead of myself here. That would be nice.
Yes. Yeah.
So this one does have an expected level of 18 to 20. The first DLC is just whatever your current level is. It sets it at that. So playing it in, I didn't know that though until today. So playing in order might have changed that. That's maybe on me. So I do apologize.
Good.
Whatever.
Good.
I got through it. It was not pleasant, but I got through it. And actually, if I probably do it now, it'd actually be. I wish I could replay the DLC with my current party. See if that would do it. But it's too late now. I already killed the Titan Heart. And
yeah. Sorry, what were you saying, Stormage, before I rudely interrupted you?
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Tis a mystery, lost into the ether.
I can say that I am still disappointed that we are not playing Mass Effect Andromeda 2 right now.
Yeah.
Or Mass Effect Andromeda DLCs. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It was a good game. It was a good game. Did you want to sing the song to everybody, Dean? You can just sing what you're singing. Dean has been singing Diggy Diggy Hole. So we will end on that. So thanks, everyone, and we'll talk at you again next week.
Bye-bye.
Diggy Diggy Hole.
I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy diggy hole. Diggy diggy hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Wait, no, I need to show you something.
Oh, okay.
It's something really funny.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.